Hi, hello. Welcome to Directly to You. You're seeing a different person here. I'm joined by Cheesy. I'm AJ. This is the Redirect Podcast, Directly to You. You can support it by going to youtube.com/watchredirect, twitch.tv/watchredirect, or if you have Amazon Prime, you can link it to your Twitch account. You get a free subscription on Jeffy B's dime. I mixed y'all. I switched it up. I changed the order of the introductions and whatnot. But anyway, in exchange for that, you get loyalty badges, you get emotes, you get free Switch keys from time to time. You get access to supporters on Discord where we record this show every single week, and you can be a part of the Peanut Gallery and talk to us while we talk to you. Also, you can go to our Patreon at patreon.com/watchredirect and see all the other great stuff that you get. It's relative to your support elsewhere. So like if you're already a Twitch sub or a YouTube member, you can get that level of things that we are capable of giving you. So you can get merch if you're at a higher tier, like $16 or $32. We don't have that right now. So if you want merch, just get all your support through Patreon. But if you don't want merch, you can do the $4 to $8 level stuff by combining platforms. But anyway, we're here to talk about video games and whatnot. Also, Cheesy didn't say anything when I said Cheesy's name. We need Cheesy to say something so people know Cheesy's voice for his name. Hello, Cheesy.
It's me. I'm Weezy. How's it going, everybody?
He's been here before. He streams on Twitch. He's a freaking Splatoon god. We're going to talk about stuff and things, starting with freaking Nintendo Switch Online. Man, it's making a lot of money.
It is. I mean, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it checks out.
Go
for it.
I mean, I know that people want a virtual console back, but the format that they have right now, it's I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah. The thing about it is, like, when they first started Switch Online, and people complaining about the stuff that they always complain about, where it's like, servers, blah blah blah. I'm like, this is the best possible scenario. This becoming a big part of their revenue kind of forces them to maintain that, like if people are actually consistent with what they spend their money on and what they complain about. If it doesn't improve and they pull their money away and it makes less money, they're then pressured to change and rectify the issue. To see them, it doesn't look like they actually reported this figure. Like this came out through Microsoft. What did they Activision? The Activision and Microsoft merger is how we got this information. So like now that this is out there, and you gotta imagine stockholders see this news because they look at all this stuff to decide whether or not they want to pull their money in or out. Now it's like, are people gonna put their money where their mouth is and force them to try to improve the service? Or are they just going to, make bank off of what people say is a lackluster product,
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because I do think that we're starting to see Nintendo finally get into like what multiplayer should be. I mean, it's still far off from the other consoles, but it's getting there. And if they want to maintain people subscribing to their service, then they need to continue to have kind of live service with their games, which Nintendo's not really known for. But I think we're seeing that with Mario Kart a little bit. We're getting these updated courses throughout the next year. And then Splatoon is going to be being supported for the next 2 years. And whether you're playing the N64 apps or the NES apps, Super NES app, you're still paying for that service, and hopefully Nintendo is going to provide with some great value.
Right. Okay, so let's do this. What are things that you want them to add and or improve to make it feel worth it to you? Or does it already feel worth it to you?
Okay, so I think it's worth it because it's cheap, right? It's the cheapest of all of the services out there.
Right.
But I'm not gonna lie, when, you know, I would say I wish that we had something like Virtual Console back, where we are able to play all of these games that we want, that are just at our fingertips. But obviously it makes sense, you know, they're not gonna just give us what we want. People would just subscribe and play like Wind Waker or something and then drop off.
Right.
But I mean,
Because
with
I also think that that's like a separate issue. You know, like if we had Virtual Console, it wouldn't be a part of the offering for Switch Online. It would just be something on the eShop.
yeah.
When I say
that makes
like
sense.
improvements that you would want, you know, like you mentioned the app or whatever, right? Like them integrating whatever in the app into the console experience. I know is something that a lot of people say they want. Me personally, I don't know if I would use that, because I don't even think to use the app other than the Splatoon stuff, which I don't even like. I don't feel I don't know why you would have to use the Switch to do what the app does, because the benefit of the app is that it's like when you're away from the game, you engage with the
True.
game. So like I guess just voice chat is the app thing that everybody wants, that I think makes sense to have on the console. Is that something that you think you would use?
Yeah, I mean, because right now, you know, I just use like Discord or sometimes Instagram. We just get on a audio call. But
I didn't even know Instagram
if
had
Nintendo-
audio calls.
It does, yeah. It's pretty nice. It works well. But like, if Nintendo had their own version of voice chat and it was easy to use, then yeah, I mean, that's just where I would be, hopefully, if they have all the like kinks figured out. But yeah, I guess when it comes to online, it's not so much what I want with the service. It's just I hope Nintendo keeps up with providing their players ways to still be connected.
So you're more so focused on the development end of it, like Nintendo
Yes.
making games that support online rather than
Yeah.
the online. Okay, yeah, that I think I agree with like entirely. Like, because when people usually talk about Nintendo Online, they like lump them in the same bucket as Microsoft and Sony, where the reason why their online services have more value to the point where they can charge as much as they do is because so many third parties making, and Microsoft specifically, makes games that makes it worth it to be online all the time with the games
Sure.
that they make. But with Nintendo, it's like people buy Nintendo consoles for Nintendo games. So even if there are those third parties, it's Fortnite and, you know, Overwatch and like all these other like always online games to engage with. People aren't like looking for those when they pay for these services. And in fact, I think that at least Fortnite, I don't think you need Switch Online to play Fortnite, do you?
No, I don't think you do.
Yeah, 'cause
Same
you
with
don't need- you
Fall
don't need
Guys.
Yeah, and that makes sense because you don't need it for the other platforms either. So it's like if you're paying for Switch Online, you need the games that are like a requirement to sell people on it. Like me, I play Smash, I play Splatoon, so like I'm already in, you know, like I don't have any issue paying the $80 because I got the family plan or whatever for the expansion pass. Like I was going to get it anyway, you know, like it's a thing where it's
Right.
like I turn on the console and I'm like, go online, and then I mean I haven't seen this in a long time because I just have the annual like renewal thing on. But like if I see you don't have access to this, I'm immediately paying to get access again because that's what I like. That's why I play the console. But I do know that there's a decent amount of people that haven't found that game or those games that make them feel like it's a necessity in the way that I feel like it's a necessity.
Yeah, I guess like the other complaint that people have, and I don't see it that much of a problem. It could always be better, is their online connectivity. It seems like people think that it's either slow or like on Splatoon you get connection errors. So maybe
Right.
it would be nice to see them continue to work on that side.
This is the part of the complaint where it's like people not understanding how the industry works and development works and online infrastructure works and what that even means. Because like with complaints like this, it sounds more like Nintendo's an ISP, and their games are all like on the same exact servers, and how well they run is dependent on them and them alone. Where in reality, there's a spectrum. That's why you have games like Splatoon 2 that was super solid. And as far as me, I don't know about you, but I had nowhere, like, I have had more connection errors in Splatoon 3 than I've had like since launch, which, what, a month, than I've had in Splatoon 2's lifetime.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that.
And then you have like Mario Maker 2, which is a slideshow, you know,
Yeah.
that alone should demonstrate. It doesn't, but it should demonstrate to people that like it doesn't work that way. Like this is a developer issue, you know, like there's just certain developers that care more and therefore invest more into their online experiences. And that's also why, to your earlier point, there's games like Mario 3D World with the port, and it has online multiplayer, but they're releasing the port, the remake, whatever they want to call it, for Kirby's Return to Dreamland, and that doesn't have online multiplayer, you know, which is like crazy to me. Like, I'm like,
Yeah.
I would have bought that game if it had that, but it doesn't, so I won't.
Yeah.
That's definitely the thing that, like, if I were to ask for anything, it's just prioritize online multiplayer.
For sure.
Like, if there's multiplayer, there should be online multiplayer, period. Like,
Yeah.
at this point in 2022, post worldwide global health crisis pandemic where nobody can leave their house for months, you know, like, make it an option at least, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it should be. And I think, like I said earlier, Nintendo is starting to be more multiplayer friendly, like online multiplayer. I think they still wish that it was the days of couch co-op.
Right.
And now they're just learning to accept that that's not how it is anymore.
Yeah. It's just like, for like, personally, it's not how it is as much because I'm an adult. So like,
Yeah, right.
adults getting together to play video games is not as common as it is for kids to be able to get together and play video games together, just specifically for that, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know like what kids do today, because do they go outside in their like neighborhood and play games? Like,
I think it depends on the kid, but I know my niece, she has people, like, her friends come over her house and play Fortnite on their Switches, and
nice.
like,
okay, good.
but even that, it's like, since there's an option to play online,
Yeah.
they'll opt to play online a lot of times too.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I get the value of like local play, because like me as somebody that also likes competitive play, like, you're not going to get a big Smash tournament because of what we talked about before, the developer end, as far as like stable connections and stuff like that. You're not going to get that same experience playing online. So you got to go to in-person tournaments to be able to like have that competitive experience. So like couch co-op and couch multiplayer and, you know, all that stuff, it's not going anywhere. And it shouldn't be threatened by the existence of online multiplayer, because it has its place and its specific advantages.
Sure.
But so does online. So that, like, they should both be treated like they're important all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like, online gaming for me is still pretty new. Just because I didn't really like playing online. Like, I don't like the idea of maybe playing against somebody who may be younger than me, or like, I mean, like, that doesn't matter, but I just don't like getting bodied by someone I don't know, versus like, you know, playing Smash Bros on the N64 with your friends, and like, you know, they're sitting right next to you and you can trash talk them and stuff like that. Where it's online, it's like, I have no idea who you are. You're probably really good at this game, and it's making me feel bad.
I think that depends. Like, that varies, because like, even with Smash, right? Like, me, just because I think how Elite Smash works is dumb. I don't like, if I'm playing Smash, that's the last resort. Like, sometimes I go to Elite Smash because like I want to play the game and nobody's available to play the game that like is good enough to want to play the game. So I'll go to Elite Smash. But like when I like 90% of the time when I play the game, I'm playing the game either with somebody that I know or somebody that I'm directly interacting with in a Discord or something like that. Since most games that have online multiplayer have both options where it's like you can play with or against random people, or you can play with or against your friends. So yeah, I can see that. I think that that's like how a lot of people feel. I think that's like how Parker feels, for instance, like how he views online multiplayer. But I do think once people like get in that, like understand that it's more than just that, like Alec, I think Alec's still here. He recently learned that it's not all that, you know, like it's not just the experience of playing with randoms. Oh no, Alec's not here anymore, right? But yeah, no, like we just recently started playing Splatoon 3 with him more often, and we played before that the Pokemon raids, and we're going to play through Pokemon Scarlet and Violet when it comes to Nintendo Switch and with the online co-op and all that stuff.
Nice, yeah.
I think that like done right with the right people, it can really enrich the way you play games.
Yeah. I mean, I would agree because like even Splatoon 3 is not even been out. Oh, I guess it's been out for a month now, and I've made some just great memories already, just connecting with people that I do know and playing games with them. And I was not really a big fan of Salmon Run. Like, I think it's a really cool mode, but I wish that you could just continue to keep going and not just stop at Wave 3 for Splatoon 2. Right. And then with Splatoon 3, I've actually have had a lot of fun playing with people like my friends and just connecting online and playing people that I didn't even think would buy the game. So that has been a lot of fun. Yeah. And so I understand how like it is different depending on how you play.
Right. I mean, that's all I have to say about the online.
Well, you know, I'm not really like, I don't really test games, so I'm not really sure, you know, what it is that you need to look for or what it's like to be a playtester.
That's true. But they figured out the other stuff with the Nintendo playtesters. Or I don't know if it's completely resolved. But there has been a development made in that department where they had the controversy in regards to the playtesters that had workplace issues. So they reached a settlement with these people. Let me scroll through and see exactly what it is. Nintendo of America and Clifton have both shared statements with Axio earlier today. Nintendo of America has said that it is thankful that a resolution was reached and that it would be making sure that the company's work environment remains welcoming and supportive for all employees. It also added that it wants employees and workers employees and workers not to disclose Nintendo's confidential business information and trade secrets. Clifton tells Axios their goal behind the charge was to show my coworkers at NOA what their rights are and what happens when they choose to exercise them, and that the terms of the settlement are exactly what I hope to see. So happy conclusion for the this person, at least.
Yeah, for sure. I was also tripped up when they said when Nintendo commented on their workers not talking about this, and what does that mean?
I think they're just super secretive, just in general. But also it does have like crappy corporation vibes, you know, like
it does.
If they can get away with you know, having to pay these settlements and getting into these you know, into this drama, because you know Nintendo's generally like controversy adverse, like they want to avoid that at all costs. Making it so things like this remains confidential keeps them out of the drama. I don't necessarily think that they want to like brush it under the rug in the sense that they don't want things resolved. I think they just more so don't want the backlash that comes with it, you know?
Yeah.
But it could also be, corporation being a corporation. I'm just speaking off of like what I know to be the case with my interactions with them.
Okay.
So there's that.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have much to say on it. It sounds like it's a good thing, and hopefully things will change in the future for Nintendo. Um, yeah, I mean, do you have anything to say?
I think that it's pretty cut and dry. Like I didn't really know a whole lot about the situation to begin with, or at least I didn't feel comfortable speaking about the situation to begin with because, like most people that talked about it, it was like strictly in one area that didn't feel consistent to what I know to be true. So I wanted more information before I like formed a full like this is definitely bad, shame on them, or
Right.
Nintendo would never do, it's like clearly this is coming from somewhere, like somebody is messing up here. How is it intentional? Will it be resolved? That whole situation, and at least what we know of seems to have been resolved. I hope that if anything else comes of this, that also gets resolved. But in addition to that, something else we talked about the last time we talked about this, I think that they should go in house with this sort of stuff. Like, why are they contracting for playtesting at this point? Like, they have, at least in Japan, like they have the Club Mario, I think is their internal playtesting. Why is there no American branch for that or European branch for that? Like, why are they outsourcing? I mean, they're probably outsourcing to cut costs, but they don't need to cut costs. They're a multi-billion-dollar corporation that is very
Right.
much so in the green. So what I would like to see come of this is that they hire more people to do this internally, so things like this don't need to happen. But as long as they do hire contractors, I would hope that they start to treat them better or continue to treat them better as they started to treat this one better.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the outcome of this is hopefully things are going to be different. And, obviously we don't know what it's like, but this is just a step in the right direction.
Yup. I don't know how to segue into this from this because I know very little about Nintendo Live 2022, but you know at least a little bit about Nintendo Live 2022.
A little bit.
What were your thoughts?
It seems like a really cool event that I wish I could have gone to. Those are my thoughts. It's a bummer that they don't do these kind of things here in the States or in other countries. But it makes sense as to why it's in Tokyo. And they showed off a statue of Link from Tears of the Kingdom. Pretty much what we've already seen in trailers, but it's cool to see like that physical statue that is probably going to be turned into an amiibo, I'm assuming.
Yeah, either like the thing is they make some really good statues, and I want to know like they probably hoard them in like a warehouse somewhere.
Yeah.
But they need to put that up for auction. I mean, I wouldn't be able to buy it for sure because there's way bigger Zelda fans than me that probably have way more money than me. So I wouldn't get it, but somebody needs to get it because sitting in a warehouse is a waste.
Yeah, it's kept away like in Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark. We'll never see it again. So there was that, and then there was also some competitions with Splatoon and Mario Kart and Smash. I didn't really get to watch any of those, but it's again going back to the online and the competitive side. It's cool to see Nintendo keeping up with that. And then they also had a DJ KK. He opened up a live concert, which is a projection screen, and they use like hologram technology, and you see DJ KK.
They Tupac'd him.
They did, yeah. And he was fun. He's not as much fun as Deep Cut, which Deep Cut was like the headliner. But DJ KK, he's like behind the turntables. He may be like pumping his fist up in the air, and you see him like move the records. But it's also kind of weird because he doesn't have any hands. They're just kind of like nubs or paws, I guess.
It's true.
But they had the Animal Crossing characters come out and kind of party with him, and the lighting is really cool. So you got to hear like music that is in Animal Crossing, specifically KK's music, and it was just like a big party.
Yeah, I saw people talking about this and saying that they wish Nintendo did more stuff like this in the US, and yeah, that would be hype. I would go to something
so
like that.
then when they did Deep Cut, you know, the game's not, it's only been out for a month, so they don't really have a lot of songs that they can share yet.
Right.
I'm assuming once the DLC drops, they'll do another concert and we'll get some more music. But we got the Squid Sisters that came out as an appearance in it. It sounds really weird to talk about video game characters doing like a live concert and it, like they're not real, but people show up and they're having a good time. And this isn't the first time that they've done this kind of like concert setting. What I would love to see, especially with like Universal theme parks and Super Nintendo World, bring those to the park.
That would be hype.
Yeah, do like a 15-30 minute show while people are like waiting for the lines to cool down, or maybe it's a special event only at night, something like that.
Or do do things like for holidays. Had like they changed the park for like Halloween and Christmas and like that sort of stuff. Do themed concerts and stuff like that during those times.
Yeah.
That would be hype.
It seems like a really cool event, and it's again, I don't know how long they've been doing it. I know that at least with the concerts, I think 2015 was their first concert with the Squid Sisters, so it might be fairly new.
I want to know about I saw that they had competitions and stuff like that, but I want to know how they handled the Smash Brothers thing, because like right now they have the Panda Cup, and that's like, it's not, I mean, it's ran by Nintendo, but not ran by Nintendo. It's more like supported by Nintendo. I'm
kind of surprised that you didn't check into the Smash Bros tournament.
I didn't even know that it was a thing. Like, so the Japanese scene, I know like a few players and stuff like that in the Japanese scene, but I don't follow the Japanese scene because I don't speak Japanese. And also,
checks out.
I gotta sleep sometimes.
Right.
And their tournaments are at weird times for me. So it's like, I'll see like the really good Japanese players when they come here. And sometimes there's like crossover where I'm like up at like 2 a.m. being a DGen, and they'll be playing their finals on a Saturday or whatever. And that's pretty cool. But I wonder if any of those players played in this tournament.
I couldn't tell you, but you're right. All of the Nintendo Live events that were happening were really early in the morning here. So like, again, I stayed up for these video game characters that was like 4 o'clock in the morning my time to watch a live event of basically history. You know, I do think that it's really cool.
Yeah.
And especially with this new gym leader that we got with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. She's a streamer, and I think it would be really cool if they had the same kind of hologram technology. Oh, they were very angry,
This
but
made
like
people very upset.
yeah.
All right, so I have it up on the screen. What were your thoughts on this when they told us like, oh, we're gonna get a new Pokemon trailer and this like new information like they've done for the last couple of weeks? Like, I think this is like at least the second week in a row. But they've been revving up on the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet marketing recently, and this is just another
Yeah.
further proof of that, of them being like, all right, we're kicking it into high gear. You're getting new information every week. Eventually, it's going to be every other day, like until the game's out. But what's your reaction?
I was lucky enough to miss the Twitter discourse on this because I forgot that they were announcing something. And so I tuned in, I think it was like a half hour later. And I thought it was weird, but like, it's not going to ruin my day or anything. It's and I think you put it best last week when they also did the same kind of like, hey, at this time we're announcing something for Pokemon, tune in. It would have been better if they didn't say anything at all.
Yeah.
Like if this was just a random drop, nobody would have cared.
Right. But it's because they like hyped it up. Which for them, what else do you expect them to do? Like, it's marketing at the end of the day, so they want people to watch it. But I think that it's like a balance of like, depending on how people reacted. I don't know, like, if they actually got real backlash from like the majority, or if that's just the, people that are always angry about everything.
Right.
So like if the majority feels like those vocal people, then next time maybe don't hype it up that much, but at the same time, you gotta, like, if you're gonna spend money and time and effort on making these trailers and doing this stuff, you want people to watch it. So there has to be some happy medium of like, watch this, but like, I guess don't get your hopes up too high. But even it's like, go for it.
That's great marketing.
Yeah. Like, why would you do that? But for me, it's like, I don't even want any more information. Like, I'm gonna watch it mostly because of this, like I freaking got a Nintendo podcast, so I need to talk about the Nintendo news, and Pokemon's some of the biggest Nintendo news all the time. So like, I'm gonna watch it for that. But like, these people that are just, people that are excited to play a new Pokemon game, or excited to hate a new Pokemon game, or talk about it on the internet or whatever, like, just don't watch it,
Yeah.
Because
that's what I was gonna. That's what I was gonna say. Is like, there's Pokemon fans in quotes that just love to hate on the series, and like they have a strong nostalgia, like they have strong nostalgia for it, right? And they want it to be something. They have their expectations way too high, and when it doesn't meet their expectations, then they get mad and they're like, oh, why is it like this? Why is there only one tree, or whatever it is? So like, with this announcement, there were people that were like genuinely upset, or there were people that took it too far with being upset. But then there's people where it's like, okay, I kind of understand where they're coming from, because the Pokemon marketing has been weird. If you think about how they dropped Wiglet, and it was just a random drop. Like, one day we woke up and they're like, hey, there's this new Pokemon. Right. But like, that wasn't in one of their tune in at this time posts. And or even in like the overview trailer, maybe they could have added a new Pokemon in there. So like, I don't understand that part of it. Like, what is important enough to have them tune in versus just a random drop?
I think for this specifically, it's because they're trying to like ARGify it. Like, there's like an element of like, here's this mystery thing, and we're going to reveal the answer to the mystery. Like, they want people to talk about the reveal before the reveal happens. Whereas Wiglet was just like an information dump. And I feel like they weave that in, like weave in stuff like that a lot, where some announcements like Grafai was like that, where they just said, hey, here's this thing, figure it out. And then they revealed Grafai. And then there's other times where it's like more, commercial-y, like straight up commercial looking advertisements of, here's an overview trailer. They're trying to like find some sort of mix of that, where it's like found footage type of vibe, and also stuff that you can see on a Cartoon Network commercial,
Oh, Cartoon Network. We don't have to talk about that right now. It's so sad.
Right. Unfortunate.
Yeah. No, I mean, I like where the direction is headed with Pokemon, and I agree. Like, you kind of already had people when you said it was an open world game, whether it is truly open world or not. It's a new direction for Pokemon. So
Right.
like, what else do you have to say? You know, and I think you had a post that was like, people are getting upset about a game that they're already going to buy.
Yeah. I said something along the lines of, I'm mad that the advertisement for the video
Yeah.
game that I know I want didn't make me want the game more than I knew I wanted it.
Yeah.
And that's just how people are. Like, for me, something that I try to find a balance in, as Nintendo YouTube man, is knowing that like these are ads. Like a Nintendo Direct is an ad. The Pokemon info dumps, they're ads. It's a commercial.
Yeah.
Like, people treat it like it's their birthday present that Nintendo didn't deliver on, you know?
I
Or
mean, some
Pokemon
people have a
Company, or-
birthday on that day, so they probably were disappointed that Nintendo didn't give them a present. You got to think about those people, AJ. Come on.
You know what? That's true. But Nintendo never gives me a birthday. Actually, that's not true. That's false. That information, I lied to you just now. But they don't owe you a birthday present. That's basically what I'm saying. They're not your dad.
Right.
So it's like, when people can keep in their brains that at the end of the day, this is a corporation. It's a transactional relationship. You get what you want and you choose if you buy it. You're not being held at gunpoint to get any of this stuff. So I don't want to say you're not owed anything, but you're not. You know, like,
Right.
The time when I can understand people being angry is if we were if they sold us on like, this is going to be groundbreaking information, pay $10 to watch this trailer, and then they gave us this, then I would be like, all right, yeah, that makes sense. I know why you're angry about this. But even me, again, Nintendo YouTube man, that like, I have to watch it even if I don't want to. I didn't wake up at 9 a.m. to watch this. I woke up when I woke up and I watched it. You know,
Yeah,
like,
it's your choice. Plus, if it was like a $10 deal, people would be upset for two reasons. One, because that's all we got. And then two, you clickbaited me. What's the answer?
Yeah, like, what the heck? Like,
Yeah.
you made me pay $10 to wait. Then I would understand that outrage. But now it's like, come on, like, next time don't wake up at 9 a.m. to watch it.
Yeah. I mean, and it's kind of the same discourse that was around Tears of the Kingdom as well.
Yeah.
In the latest direct, people were like, that's all they're showing. And it's like, what do you want to see? Like, part of Breath of the Wild
They
was the
want to see
magic
the
of
ending of the video game in the advertisement for the video game.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, we lost the sense of discovery at some point.
Yeah.
And like, sometimes the trailers don't show you, they show you a lot, but they don't show you everything, which is nice that you still have that moment of like exploring in a video game and you're like, oh, wow, this is really cool. But nowadays, I feel like we need to see everything before. I was going to say before we make a decision, but that's not true because we've already made a decision that we're going to buy it.
Right.
Especially if you're a content creator, you're going to play it. You're going to, play it for a couple of days, toss it aside, and then you're moving on to the next thing.
Nah, I'm playing this game for years, just like I played Pokemon Sword and Shield. Still to this day, every week.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, like, some content creators,
True.
the ones that just like move on to the flavor of the month.
A couple names come to mind, but I'm not gonna say them. But yeah, no, like, I don't know. I just think that, like, me, if it were up to me, they would announce the starters, the box legendaries, everything else as far as like features and stuff like that. Showcase that with existing Pokemon that we already know. And nothing else. Maybe the first route Pokemon that are new. Maybe throw those in. But outside of that, don't show me nothing. Like, I think it's weird that people are like, I need to see the evolutions for my starter before I pick my starter. Because it's like, it's Pokemon. You're going to want all three of them anyway. That's the point. Like,
so glad you said that, because I was going to get on a soapbox about how I don't think people are loyal anymore. Like, you pick your Pokemon from day one, your starter Pokemon, and then it doesn't matter what their starter evolution is. You chose it. You're supposed to love it and care for it.
That's
and
facts.
train it, raise it, you know?
And like they're kind of designed in that way too. Like Torchic, for instance, like the whole thing of that Pokemon was supposed to be like you fall in love with the original evolution. And then it evolves, and you're like, "What the heck? This chick turned into a chicken?"
Yeah,
my money
it looks
back.
like a Digimon character.
But people are like, "Nah, I gotta research the whole entire experience before I experience the experience, so that when I play the game, I know exactly what's going to happen at every turn." I'm like,
Yeah,
what?
I mean, I know it was a little different with Arceus because we already knew like what those Pokemon eventually evolve into, but like they had their final form that was different,
Right.
and they didn't show those at all. Those just got leaked.
They did.
And,
They dropped the trailer like the day before or something like that.
Oh, did they? Okay,
And that's
okay.
the type of stuff that I'm fine with. Like if it's the day of, the day before, whatever. Like open season, the game is out. Like it's not like you don't got to get to the end of the game to find what the final evolution is for the character. So like when the game's out, sure. Especially if it's like marked like that, where it's like revealing the evolutions for blah blah. Because like me, when I played Arceus, I didn't even know if the second evolutions were different. I just I was like, hey, whatever happens, happens. You know, like I didn't know anything that was different about the Pokemon. And that's how I want to go into every Pokemon game. Ideally, is knowing as little as possible because I'm going to find it out anyway. So why not?
Yeah, exactly.
Through the means of the video game.
Yeah. I don't know. I just like I do understand how it could be hard through marketing for like I feel like Sun and Moon, that was the one where they did show a lot of advertisement for that game.
Yeah.
And then people were like, you're showing too much. And then like with this and Arceus, I feel like they are saying that they're not showing enough. So it's like, where's the balance? Is there a balance? Or are you just like
people will never be happy ever.
Play the game.
Yeah, people will never be happy on the internet ever. It is impossible.
Yeah.
I think that what they should do is just like do what Smash Brothers did, the Smash Bros Dojo for Brawl specifically, where it's like they did like information dumps and stuff like that, right? But it wasn't like this whole, obviously because social media wasn't as much of a thing. It, like MySpace was a thing, but like, you know, the people are on Twitter and all that. So like just if you had to go out of your way to find information on this game, so nobody's forced to learn anything that they don't want to be spoiled on, but the people that want to know can find out. I think that is the happy medium. Is you do that.
You brought back such a good memory because I remember waking up every morning checking the Smash Dojo and like the part of it was like scrolling down because you don't know what the reveal was yet.
Yeah.
So you would like scroll down and be kind of surprised by
they
it.
They even hid it on there. Like for there was characters that it had the hidden characters or whatever, and there were just question marks. That was sick. Smash Brothers Brawl, even though like in hindsight, not that great. You know, mechanically, that's the reason why I like Smash Brothers as much as I do. Because Pokemon Trainer is a big reason why I like Smash Brothers as much as I do. And Pokemon Trainer came from that game. So, and that's how I found out. I saw it on that website, and that was the first game ever that I was like, I'm pre-ordering this video game. I'm going to bother my parents for weeks until this game comes out, so that we go to GameStop at midnight and we pick it up, and I'm going to play Pokemon Trainer for hours and hours and hours. And then he was bad, and I played him for hours. But now he's good. But speaking of Pokemon, and there's freaking Pokemon Splatfest also. There's Pokemon Splatfest.
Yeah.
And this I'm conflicted on. Because
Me too.
I don't know what they're getting at here. I don't understand.
Yeah.
Like, is this...
It's very confusing.
Is this a Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Splatfest? Or is it just a Pokemon type Splatfest? I don't understand.
Yeah. So for context, this is a Splatfest that you are choosing your starter, but the way that they word it is really weird because it's like, which starter type do you choose? And it's like, okay, are you asking about like the past Pokemon that I have picked? But when you look at the image for the teaser of the Pokemon Splatfest, it has silhouettes of the starters from Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah,
so
and then
I'm
I
like,
saw-
well, normally,
I saw a graphic from from one of the Japanese accounts, either Nintendo's or Splatoon's, that had the Kanto starters on it. It had all
what?
the final evolutions, or not all, but like there was like Blaziken silhouette, and I saw Charizard. And when I saw that, I retweeted it. I saw that, and I was like, well, if it's Charizard silhouette on there, and they're just talking about in general, I gotta pick the one that's Charizard because that's literally my favorite Pokemon. Period. So like, I think, and this is a whole different soapbox that I go on from time to time. I think people that only pick one type for the sake of the type are cringe. That's cringe to me.
Yeah.
Like me, when I pick a starter Pokemon, it's like on sight. It's like, oh, okay, I see these 3 Pokemon. This is the one that I think looks the best. And recently, that's been water a lot, but it's not a type thing. It's just that's the Pokemon that I like the most.
yeah.
But I've picked all 3 at one point or another, just based off of aesthetics.
Yeah, for me, I usually am a fire starter type. Like, just going off of what I have picked, the most has been fire starters. But again, going back to my soapbox of being loyal and sticking to it, I am choosing Quaxley. And the way that I read it from the first announcement was like, this is an advertisement for Scarlet and Violet. I mean, it's a leading up to the game. So I guess I'm Team Water, even though I usually would be Team Fire.
We're in the opposite end of the same problem. Because I don't usually, like, in the sense that, like, I don't go into Pokemon games being like, I want to pick whatever type, but just looking at the data where it's like Gen 1 I picked fire, Gen 2 I picked water and fire, grass is cringe. Gen 3 I picked grass, Gen 4 I picked water, Gen 5 I picked water, Gen 6 I picked water, Gen 7 I picked water, and Gen 8. But Gen 9,
so how are you reading it? Are you going in water? Or are you going in fire for the Splatfest?
If when freaking Deep Cut comes on my screen and they talk about the Splatfest, if I see that same graphic with the different starter Pokemon like throughout the ages, I'm picking fire because Charizard is on that team. But if it is like marketed to me when they're like, everybody pick your team, your vote counts, whatnot. You get my T-shirt. If it's a Scarlet and Violet ad, I'm picking water.
Okay. All right. See, like the other problem that I have with like Splatfest is people will just pick whatever their favorite idol is picking.
Yeah.
And I think you just need to go off of like your genuine opinion. Like which one would you choose?
See, me, that depends on what it is. Like in Splatoon 2.
Oh, interesting.
It was either I would just pick, because, I'm a very opinionated person. So I have opinions on most things. I would pick whatever I had an opinion on. But sometimes I don't care. Ketchup versus mayonnaise, I'm not a big fan of either. But Marina's Pog, so I had to pick her, like, that's what it is.
I get it.
So now what's probably going to happen is whatever Big Man picks, if I don't care, I'm going with Big Man. But so far I've had a dog in every race, so I gotta go what I feel is right.
And what, you're 3-0 so far?
Yeah.
Dang. So really, anybody that's listening should pick AJ's team.
Yeah, pick whatever I'm picking, and we'll get the dub.
Okay. Right on. Well, I guess we should note it or tell people that this Splatfest isn't for October. It's for November. November 11th, maybe? I can't remember, but it's leading up to Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
I had it. I scrolled up to the thing. They're doing a whole preamble. It's, November 11th to 13th at 9 p.m. Pacific time is when it ends.
Nice. Same day as the Amiibo that come out.
Yo, that's Black Panther Day. 11th.
Oh, true.
The 11th.
Whoa.
So Friday, might not be playing it. I don't know what to tell y'all. I'll try to pull more slack on Saturday and Sunday, but the 11th, I don't know what to tell y'all, man. I'm probably not going to be on Splatoon. I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well,
freaking
it's smart that they announced it for November because I feel like they thought that people would be kind of dropping off of Splatoon because of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. But
yeah,
because they let people know ahead of time that there will be a Pokemon Splatfest, you are going to keep those same players playing Splatoon for that up until November, basically. And then when Pokemon comes around, maybe they'll, players will drop off. But in saying that, we don't really have a Splatoween so far. We don't have like a Splatfest or some kind of event for October for Splatoon.
yeah. I saw you talking about that.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily. I mean, we can just fully segue into the games we're playing because this is relevant to that. This is relevant to that. I'm not necessarily spooky month averse.
Okay.
I don't care about spooky month actively though. So like I'm not like, yo, it's spooky month, I gotta play games that are scary, I gotta play this game, I gotta do, because I don't care. Like I'm too cynical for spooky games. I'm not usually like scared, so it's like it's not fun for people to watch that of me being like, he's red, green, and blue pixels, I'm not scared of that thing. Like so I just let everybody else have those festivities. And I'm in a similar boat with the Splatoween. Like I don't even really know what Splatoween entails. Like what usually is that?
It's just a themed Halloween Splatfest, but then they decorate like what they did with Inkopolis Square. It's just all decorated in like Halloween, and there's some like kind of like the ink was kind of glow in the dark, so it was special. It was more special than what you get with the Splatfest already. They just have like a holiday touch to it.
Just Inkopolis?
No, the stages were decorated as well.
I'm on board. They should do that.
Yeah.
They should decorate the stages anyway. What the heck?
Yeah, it would be cool. True. Well, okay, so I do have a theory that like if Splatoween isn't happening, then maybe Big Run is taking its place, which is the Salmon Run event that we haven't had before. So this would be the very first time. And usually Splatoon is always updating their maps. So like they're under construction and you can't play them for a while because they're being updated.
Mahi, I swear to God.
You and I, man, we have different opinions on Mahi Mahi.
But you like it for the reason that I hate it. Like you want the people to have constricted movement, and I hate having my movement constricted.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. What I'm hoping with Salmon Run or Big Run is that is how they update the maps, is by the maps being destroyed. So the Salmonin are going to come and invade the maps that we play on. But I hope after the event is done, we see like how everything is all broken and damaged. And that is how we have to play on those maps from now on.
Yeah, I'd be down for that. I'd be super hype.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm the same as you. Like when it comes to spooky month, I my Twitter handle right now is Cheesy Screams because I'm just am not like a big Halloween person. I'm a pretty big scaredy cat, so like I'm not going to any like haunted houses or anything. I was a theater kid, so like the best
we're
part
on
of
opposite
Halloween.
ends of that too. Like we come to the same conclusion, but for opposite reasons. I'm not big on spooky month because I'm not scared of any of that stuff, and you're not big on spooky month because you're scared of all of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, every once in a while, I like to watch a scary movie, but Halloween is for dressing up and just going out. Like I know that I'm old enough that maybe you shouldn't be dressing up in a costume or whatever, but it's the one time of the year that you get like
for people our age to dress up, hang out.
Yeah.
Social media also exists. You can dress up for that too. Plus, you stream on Twitch. You can dress up for that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's true. That's true. There's plenty of times, I guess, to dress up.
True.
But I still like it for that reason, okay? It doesn't mean that...
No, I wasn't saying that it's not good for that. I'm saying that it gives you an excuse to dress up on stream and at these parties and stuff like that.
Yeah.
this was me being in favor of Spooky Month, and me being in favor of Spooky Month. Also, I'm playing Luigi's Mansion 3 on my Twitch stream on Mondays usually. That day might flip around depending, but I'm going to try to finish freaking Splatoon 3, Luigi's Mansion 3. Because I did not do it the first time when the game came out.
Such a good game.
I like it a lot. It's a good game,
Yeah.
but I play Smash Brothers and DLC came out. I don't remember what DLC. I think it was like Terry or something. And then I was like, I gotta learn how to play the character and fight the characters. So like, rip this game. And then after I was done with that and all the patch notes and whatnot, a new game came out. So I was like, well, I'll see Luigi's Mansion at some other point, I guess. And this is that other point. I was playing it on the stream, and the whole thing of like when you play a game that you haven't played for a long time, of being like, what the heck is happening? Like, what are the buttons? What do I do? What am I doing? Where do I go?
Yeah.
I did that all happened to me in real time on stream, and it was a time. And like, go for it.
Is it stressful for you when that happens, or are you okay with it? Because like,
it depends. Sometimes it's annoying, and like especially games that are like puzzle centric. Sometimes it feels less like a smart puzzle, and more like artificial. Like, you didn't really know how to make this like intellectually stimulating. You just wanted to make it a stopgap. And that sort of thing happened a few times in this, where it's like, I was on I don't know how much you remember your playthrough of the video game, but I was on the part where you fight the guy in the rubber ducky tube.
Oh God.
And I did the puzzle where you got to turn the knobs and then you go up the tubes or whatever.
Yeah.
And like when I did that puzzle and I like quote unquote figured it out, I didn't feel satisfied, because first of all, I don't even know what the logic was. Like, even after beating it, I was like, I don't know even what I did. I just beat it because I beat it. And that was annoying. But other parts, there's definitely puzzles and stuff. Like, I forgot about Goichi several times, where Goichi is just like the clear solution. But once I figured that out, I was like, oh, that's smart. Like, that was smart of them to do. So there's definitely puzzles where it feels like they're well thought out, and like it's not necessarily like obvious solutions, but like solutions that make sense.
Well, it's frustrating too when you have a puzzle like that where it's like you don't know what you're doing, so then you ask chat, and chat is like trying to figure it out, and then maybe somebody has figured it out, but because like they're trying to explain it to you, it doesn't make sense to you, so you're getting more flustered, and
it's just a whole thing, man.
Yep. But to be fair, that what is it? Is it like the sewer level or basement 2? Something like that in Luigi's Mansion? That is like the worst part of that game.
I heard that the mummy part is the worst part.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, have you got there?
No, I have not. I just was told in my chat. See, the thing is, like, there was parts that people in chat were like, oh man, you're gonna hate this. Like, they were like, you're gonna hate the rubber ducky boss, and I actually like that a lot, because like when there's just multiple things in the game that like they use to like turn the mechanics on their head. That I'm like, this is neat. Like the part when you're in like the garden, like the overgrown part of the hotel. Like the chainsaw, like that's sick.
That is cool.
And the rubber ducky inner tube was a similar thing for me. I'm like, this is very cool. I enjoy controlling this. And so fighting a boss with controls that I enjoyed, I was like, yo, this is hype.
Okay,
but the other stuff was annoying though.
To me, the boss fight, the rubber ducky boss fight, was okay. It's the lead up to it, where if you are like blowing away from the like spiky ball things, sometimes it wouldn't turn off, or the current is just taking you towards the spiky ball, and that became frustrating, because then you have to go back to that one part of that level and redo it again. And it was very sensitive. But little story with the pyramid section. I'm not going to give anything away, but my wife and I, we played Luigi's Mansion 3 together, and there's a section of it where you have to find something. And so you get to this part of the hotel, and everything is like in sand. The sand is just everywhere. And we're like, okay, we have to find this thing. And we spent maybe 20 minutes looking for it just in random spots. And we're like, okay, well, maybe we have to like vacuum up all the sand. Like, that seems annoying, but maybe like that's the goal, and then you'll find the thing. No, don't do that. I'm just letting you know ahead of time. It is simpler than that.
Okay. I was going to say, because I'm probably going to do that anyway. not because like I was talking about that in chat, where like playing Luigi's Mansion, half of it for me is just vacuuming everything because I can. Like,
I mean, if you enjoy that, go for it.
I'll probably do that, but it probably won't be for that reason though. Hopefully it doesn't come to that of being like, I don't know what to do, so I'm just gonna vacuum until I figure it out. But I don't know. It just depends on if I'm entertained by the physics of how the vacuum is interacting with the thing. But that happens a lot where I'm just like, this is satisfying. I'm going to vacuum this thing.
Yeah. So you might get to that part and you're like, oh, Cheesy's a dummy, because it's like you'll find it. You'll find it.
I'll get there. I don't know how far away it is. I've never seen anybody else play this game. I'm on I got like the floor that I just was on was what, B2 or something like that. It looks like the game says I'm halfway through the game. Like that's what the dialogue told me, where I got to save Mario and Peach. And maybe another Toad. No, I think I just saved the other Toad. Okay. But it said that I'm halfway through. That's what Toad told me.
It's a great game. I mean, like, for those that haven't played it, it is one of the better looking games on Switch. Yeah, which sure. I mean, there are good looking games on Switch, but it at times feels like, honestly, like you're watching
a Pixar movie.
Pixar. I was gonna say Illumination. Maybe it's not at that level.
Yeah,
but
I mean, same thing, more or less.
Yeah, but I mean, that in itself got me hyped for a Mario movie, because if their cutscenes in the game look like that, like, I think everything's gonna be.
When they have like basically limitless computing power.
yeah.
Like, they don't have to worry about overhead. It's just like, all right, this is a multi-million-dollar, probably like $200 million movie. We can go wild.
Yeah. No, it's such a good game. The only complaint I have about it is like you have to wait, what is it, like 40 minutes maybe to unlock second player?
Oh, yeah.
You don't get the 2-player right away. You have to like earn up to it.
See, I didn't get a chance to experience that. If this was online multiplayer, it would have happened sooner. But I don't have, like, if I'm getting together to play games with somebody, Luigi's Mansion is not going to be a game that I'm getting together with them to play. So it's like, I played the online Mars in the Discord chat. Brought that up.
Nice.
But it doesn't work for the I mean, you can't do online multiplayer for the story, which would have been high.
Right. Yeah.
I would have started the playthrough all over again, and like got the game my friend used. I usually stream with her. I would have bought it for her so that we could play it, because that would have been hilarious. But unfortunately, we can't do it.
Hopefully Luigi gets more recognition. Like, I understand he's basically like a shadow version of Luigi, but he's cool.
Yeah,
like, he needs to be in more things.
A Smash alt for Luigi.
Yeah.
That would have been perfect. See, and this is another thing. I mean, I'm playing Smash, so that's kind of in the topic for what we're playing right now. But I want to ask what you're playing. But before I do that, I do want to add again. Just let me give you like $5 for alts, Nintendo. Please.
Yeah.
Like, I'll give you at least get like another $15 out of me, because I gotta buy the characters that I use, And then if the characters that I don't use have a cool enough alt, you might get $5 out of me for them too.
Yeah. But I mean, it's the same with Inkling. I know that they already have like Octoling Me outfits, but like come on. People want to play as an Octoling, like one that looks like an Octoling.
Yeah, and they could just straight up do like Animal Crossing. They could do this, and also Splatoon, where it's like they import what your Inkling looks like, and just map that onto the Inkling in the video game. That would be hype.
Yep. Yeah. Well, speaking of Splatoon, it's probably no surprise. That is pretty much all I've been playing. God, I don't even want to say. I think I have like 250 hours in that game already.
Nice.
It is taken over in like a good way, you know, like sure, there's health that's important and going to the gym and responsibilities, but Splatoon is here, baby.
It's true. It's on the Nintendo Switch, man. You could do all those things.
True. Yeah, I'll bring the Switch to the gym.
Get a hotspot.
There we go.
It'd be the cringe one that's making the lobby lag, but you still play.
Yep. It is super competitive. I finally got to S plus. That was like my big goal, was to get there. So now I'm kind of spending less time in like the competitive side and playing more table turf and trying to get through all of that. But the way that you play Splatoon 3's online in anarchy mode is really interesting because you don't rank down. So I was in S mode, and you have to spend a certain amount of points to get into that series. And then depending on how many games you win, you could win a certain amount of points, but then you have to spend, I think it was like 150 points. So it takes a long time to get to that next rank. But if you pretty much go under, like you're at 0 points, but you have to spend 150. Well, now you're at negative 150 points. So there was a point where I got to negative 3,000 points. And I was like, there's absolutely no way that I'm getting up to S plus. And it was one of those two where it was like kind of hate playing, because you like, I know I can do this, but then you keep losing. And then it's like, this is not helping, but maybe this time, you know, like I'll get it the next round. So yeah, I've been sinking a lot of time into that game. But there's other games that I want to play. Like I want to play Tunic. That's definitely a game I want to play before
that's coming out.
the Game Awards.
Is that already out on Switch?
It is. Yeah.
I knew it was coming, but I didn't know.
It came out the 27th.
Ooh, I might have to.
So I want to play that.
I can't. I got my stream games already. I can't do it.
Yeah. How do you pick your stream games? Is that like
just
easy
what I
for
feel
you?
like playing? Like
okay.
That's like the entirety of it. Smash to a certain degree is like, because it's just become a thing. Like that's like the most like eventized stream game. We got Smash Tuesdays. I play with my friend Lee. And during Smash Tuesdays, we also play Pokemon Sword and Shield, and that was because that's what Lee wanted to do. So it was like, all right, yeah, we can do Smash and Splatoon. Smash and Pokemon for both days, and then the other game Splatoon, because it's just current, and I want to play that.
So
too.
you don't play a lot of like story-driven games?
Nah,
on stream,
unless it's like a game that like is current and out that I want to play, you know.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's the whole driving force for streams for me. Like I don't really care as much about growing Twitch as I do YouTube and like the podcast. The Twitch is more so a vehicle to engage with the community. And like for that reason, I usually try to play games that I care about and want to play, because I don't want to spend that time being annoyed, you know?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I ran into the problem last year where I was playing Dread online or while I was streaming, and I was enjoying it so much that I wanted to keep playing even when I wasn't streaming, but I knew like for the sake of story, I probably shouldn't do that and wait until the next time I stream. So I would start a second save file and then kind of just play up until the point of where we last left off.
Right.
But it still is hard because it's like, all right, well, I still want to play games on the side, but I also want to have the games for stream. And it's like, you don't know how invested people are in the game that you're playing. So like, maybe it's okay you play on your own time, or maybe you just wait for the community to come back. And
that kind of happened for me with Splatoon, where for the story mode, I didn't touch it. I didn't touch it at all off stream because I wanted to play through it on stream.
Oh, okay.
But the way that I like did that happy medium, or am still doing it, I just played through, like I beelined the least amount of levels that I could possibly do to progress the story. And did that on stream, and I'm just gonna play everything else off stream, like all the other levels that I haven't played yet.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that way, it's not going to take me forever to play the game. It's not going to take me. It didn't take me forever to know the like what happens, you know. But I still got to like showcase me playing it for the first time on stream. Now, Pokemon is going to be interesting because for Arceus, I played all of it on stream, and I did that still at a like relatively the same pace that I usually would for YouTube.
Okay.
So ever since I started the YouTube channel, I will play through the entirety of whatever Pokemon game the weekend that it comes out, the whole thing, and then I would make a video for that Tuesday about my experience of playing the game. Now it's probably not going to be that stringent either way, but I want to still be able to play the game at a decent pace to like start to formulate ideas for what the video is going to be and spend however long, because you know our new thing is like videos are done when they're done.
Yeah.
But I don't want to like take 2 months to make a Pokemon video for Scarlet and Violet, so I'm going to play it off stream, and there's going to be some people that are like in the community that I'm going to play like the multiplayer. I already have a group playing it with Trav, playing with Alec, playing it with Youth, and that's going to be fun.
Nice.
But I also am like, that is going to be streamed with that group, but I'm going to play it again off stream and like steamroll the game. Like,
Yeah.
I know me, Trev, my friend Lee, and another community member, Mega Man, who stopped by earlier. We're going to like midnight Australian time play through the game, because that's when I'm getting Pokemon Scarlet. We're going to play through the game then, so that's going to be an interesting time. I'm playing Pokemon Scarlet many times.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you talking about it, because I think there are a lot of people that kind of struggle with what games they should currently be playing on their own time versus, you know, what is good for streaming. And, you know, most of the time it's just online multiplayer games, because you could get a lot of people in. But like if you're playing a story driven game, or, you know, like what is it that keeps people coming back? You know, obviously it's the streamer who has to be entertaining and, you know, like bring the community together, but also sometimes people just want to tune in for the game and they don't care about the streamer.
Yeah.
So it's just a weird balance to figure out.
Exactly. That's true.
Yeah.
I'm also playing Splatoon. But like it feels like, so when Splatoon first came out, I was playing it every day. And then after a while I would miss a day, and then I would miss like 2 days or whatever. And that's pretty much like the longest 2 or 3 days has been like, I haven't played Splatoon in a few days. And it's not necessarily because I don't want to play it, but it's more because like I usually play it on stream with viewers, and then we'll jump in there and play through it or whatever. But now it's like I'm on the Smash grind a little bit more than I was when this game first came out. So that is like when I'm just idling and doing nothing super important, I'll play that. So right now, the designated time where I'm always going to play Splatoon is during stream. Like, and that's usually on Wednesday.
What you're telling everyone is you don't have the dab yet.
No, I don't. Is it wait, which level is the dab?
It's catalog 99.
Oh yeah, no, I don't got that. I'm not that far though. I'm more like 94, something like that.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
like,
you're close.
I'm still playing the game, but I'm just not playing the game like I was playing.
Yeah.
You know, like, but no, and also it's because like, I don't know, I have this like weird relationship where I didn't play Splatoon 2 as much as I play Splatoon 1, because since like getting competitive with Smash, team-based competitive games annoy me a lot with randoms, because it's like
Yeah, I see where you're going.
I always know with Smash Brothers, if I lose, it's my fault, 100%. There's no way
Yeah.
it's not. But with
Yeah.
Splatoon, there's a lot of times where it can be somebody else's fault, and that's annoying. If I can't tell them like, "Yo, do the thing better," so like that ends in me like, if I'm playing the game, I gotta play it with people that I can communicate with, or that I know they know what they got to do. You know. So like I haven't really done the like ranked grind because like I don't want to play with randoms. Like, so
Yeah, I mean that part kind of sucks. Even if you do play with friends, the rank mode, because the most that you can win is 8 points.
yeah, yes, yep.
It's such a bummer. And then if you lose, like right now, I'm S plus, so if I lose 5 points. So I mean, it's not really like a way to rank up.
Yeah.
You have to play with randoms.
Right. Which is
I don't know.
annoying. It's annoying.
Yeah.
I don't want to
Yeah,
do
it
that.
Yeah.
I might do it just to be able to say I did it. Like the Elite Smash thing. But Elite Smash, again, because of that, where I can blame myself, it didn't take me long to get to Elite Smash. It took me like a week, maybe 2, when the game came out. And then once I got in Elite Smash, I didn't leave Elite Smash. And I mean, you can't physically, because you said you can't rank down. You can't leave S or whatever. So that there's less of that worry or whatever. Because I do know, like with Elite Smash, I have like a few like local friends that like Elite Smash for them is like a badge of honor. Where it's like, I got into Elite Smash because I'm very good at the video game. And it's like, okay, when's the last time you used that character? What, you want me to lose the character in Elite Smash? but for me, it's like Elite Smash is like, it's like a club. It's like, I'm grinding to get into the club so I can go to the club, you know? Like,
okay, yeah.
Once I get in Elite Smash, that's when the game starts, you know?
Yeah.
Like, before then, I'm not playing the game, you know? Like, I'm playing against cringe people that are bad and terrible, you know? But once I'm in Elite Smash, I'm playing against people that are bad and terrible, but the game says that they're good. That's how you gotta do it.
I mean, it will be really interesting when League Battle opens up in Splatoon. That's when we're gonna see like the real competitive side of Splatoon, and people can team up and
get
just
sweaty.
go crazy. Yeah, exactly.
I feel like people are even more sweaty than me in Splatoon and Turf War. Like, I was playing on stream, and I'm like, yo, people are mad sweaty in Turf War.
Yeah, they are.
That's crazy.
I mean, I don't really know how well the matchmaking works, because I noticed even when I was playing in S rank, people had a golden Anarchy badge, which means that they have gotten to S plus, and you can go to S plus 50. So who knows how high up they are?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like for me, like if I wanted to get sweaty and like I'm decent at the game, I know how to play Splatoon. But when I'm playing Turf War, I'm like leveling stuff up. I'm trying different weapons out. You know, like I'm not like trying to play the game like that. Like I don't even know what I'm doing half the time because I'm trying something different.
Yeah.
But these people are like, you know, they got it down to a science, and I'm like, yo, why are you in here? go to right.
Yeah. Have you been doing locals still? Have you been going?
Yeah. I haven't gone to the last few. I do plan to go tomorrow though.
Nice.
I've been on Smash Ladder. I've been doing the that grind right now as far as competitive Smash is concerned. And also I've been playing on Elite Smash. I've been on a roll. I feel like something clicked. I was talking to the current top American Pokemon trainer player that I did a session with a while ago, or a few sessions. And I just have him on Discord, so every once in a while we'll like talk about the video game. And I was telling him, I was like, yo, like something clicked as far as like stage picks. And I talked about it a little bit here on the podcast where I'm like, I just feel way more comfortable. Like I'm never really in a situation where I don't know what to do outside of the game. Whereas like before, the balance between like playing Pokemon Trainer or Min Min was always like a big question mark for me, where I was like, like what stages should I play this character? Do the stages, are they the deciding factor, you know? Or should it be the character, or if the player's good against the matchup or whatever? Because like the baseline, like what I do at locals is like, if I never played this person before, I'm starting Min Min, because Min Min, people don't know how to fight this character, so it's like they'll just lose because they're bad. Like I don't even have to be good. But with Pokemon Trainer, I usually go against, like, if I'm fighting somebody that like I can do either matchup with, because like sometimes that's the deciding factor, where it's like, oh, I'm fighting freaking like Samus or something. I don't usually want to use Pokemon Trainer against Samus, so I'll use Min Min. But if I'm fighting somebody and they're using like Donkey Kong, you know, and I know that they're good, I'm going to go Pokemon Trainer because I'm more comfortable and I know what to do in all situations.
Nice.
Whereas with Min Min, it's like I have a general idea because I'm decent at the game, but I don't know like as many like Min Min specific stuff, where it's like, if I hit this attack at this part of the stage, what do I do next? If they hit me with this, how do I get out of it, you know? So that has been my recent like Smash experience, is like me figuring that stuff out, and I'm gonna try to bring that experience into the locals when I go, hopefully tomorrow.
Nice. Yeah, well, you'll have to teach me because I'm terrible at Smash. Like I loved it on N64 and GameCube and Brawl.
What character did you use, or do you? Which characters even? And any of them. Run through the gauntlet.
Yeah. All right. So N64, I played as Mario, and then Melee, I would usually, and again, I don't know if these are good characters or not, but I would play as Pichu, and then I think I played as Dr. Mario. Like I don't know, I was on a Mario kick, I guess. And then Brawl, I played as Pit. That was like my go-to, was Pit.
I think so far that's the best character that you mentioned. I think the rest of the other characters, like Mario is good now, but in Smash 64, no, he was not good in Mario in Smash 64. But Pichu is another character that now is good. Well, Pichu's good because Pichu is Pikachu. Like when Smash Ultimate first came out, like Pichu was cracked. Like Pichu was like debatably better than Pikachu. But they nerfed Pichu and made him easier to hit. And Pichu is light and hurts himself, so he by default is now worse than Pikachu. But he's still Pikachu. Like, you know, he still has Pikachu attributes, so he's still like good, you know? Oh yeah, Mars said Doc is decent-ish in Melee. Yeah, he's alright. He's alright. But anyway, you said so Brawl, what was the Brawl characters?
Pit.
Okay, yeah, he is decent in Pit's decent in Brawl. And then did you play Smash 4 at all?
I did, yeah. I played as Little Mac.
Right.
Which
I too use Little Mac in well, I didn't really have a main in Smash 4, but I played Little Mac. He's not good.
But, you shortly learned that, but at the same time you're like,
he's fun though.
He's cool. Yeah, exactly.
When I first saw him announced, I was like, I'm playing that character. Like,
yeah.
I beat Bob Wolf. You know, I don't know if you know who Bob Wolf is.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, I hear you mention him every now and then.
Yeah, I play my Bob friend, my friend Bob. I played him, and the lead up to this game, we had like a whole grudge match because like the way that this happened is we went to it was at a convention. I think it was either like PAX or Too Many Games or something, and we played Smash Bros. Melee, and I picked Pichu, and he beat me. And then he was like bragging about it. Like, I thought you were supposed to be good at this game. And I was like, all right, now I got to lock in. I got to destroy this man's whole career. So then we did a whole grudge match thing in the video in the lead up to the game.
Nice.
Where we put stakes and we said whoever loses has to pay for a double giveaway for Smash Ultimate when the game comes out. So I proceeded to destroy him with Little Mac and also Falco. In Smash 4.
Okay.
So I know how to play Little Mac. Little Mac, he's not good, but he's one of those characters that like you can destroy somebody with that are also not good, or they don't understand like what somebody that is good with Little Mac does, so they'll lose because they don't really know the matchup, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, who do you in Ultimate? Who do you gravitate towards?
So at first it was Piranha Plant
Mm-hmm.
because I just loved how wacky that character was. Again, I don't know if these characters are good or
he's
bad.
not good. He's not good.
Okay.
But
See, now I'm starting to learn why I'm bad at Smash because I pick
you
all the
just
bad
gravitate
characters.
to the low tiers. Like,
Yeah.
and I mean, like, an ultimate, it's a lot less of a thing. Where like Melee and Brawl and every other Smash game, a low tier is a low tier. Like like if you pick a low tier and you're playing against somebody that is like somewhat knowledgeable of the game and they're playing a character that's a tier or two higher than you, like their character will invalidate yours. But in Smash Ultimate, there's a lot of like universal mechanics that like you can rely on and do well based off of those, and use like the one or two good things about every character to do well enough. Like really the only character that like you're not really ever going to beat or win a major tournament with, say, is like Ganondorf. Because he gets invalidated, you know, like even Little Mac in Smash Ultimate has some decent tournament results. So it doesn't really matter as much. But do you still play Piranha Plant, or have you since changed?
You know, I think I probably moved on to Inkling just to.
Inkling's pretty good.
Know. Okay, good.
Inkling's pretty good, but the thing about Inkling that's hard is Inkling is hard. Inkling is not an easy character to succeed with.
Yeah.
I used to main Inkling in the beginning of the game because Pokemon Trainer was bad in Brawl, so I just assumed that Pokemon Trainer was bad in Smash Ultimate. And then after a while, all my friends were like, why are you not playing Pokemon Trainer? You're way better with this character than you are with Inkling. And I was like, yeah, you're right. Here we are.
When facts are facts, right?
It's true. Like, I don't know what to tell you, man. You're right. And now they hate that decision. They hate me for it.
I do know that there is another game that you play from time to time, which is a question game.
It's true. We do the Q&A. We do that. We got some questions from people in the Discord and on Twitter, but mainly Twitter because we didn't post the questions and answers in the Discord for some reason. I mean, people that are in Discord right now, feel free if you want to ask questions for us to answer, go for it. But right now, we're going to have to just answer the Twitter questions. Do you have it pulled up? I don't have it pulled up anymore for some reason.
I do. Thrillhouse198X said, what are you most looking forward to, and what are you most worried about, with everyone's most hated game they love to buy, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet?
What I'm most looking forward to is the well, not even necessarily the online or whatever. The co-op, the being able to play through the game with a party of 3 other people is going to be hype. It is the Pokemon anime realized in the video game. What I've always wanted.
Yeah.
So I'm super hyped for that. What about you?
For hype is probably online and seeing how that works. Even though we still don't really know too much about it, I'm sure that will be information that is coming here pretty soon. I think it's kind of cool that we are getting like the legendaries in the very beginning, because that is how we're going to be able to traverse through the game. Yeah, and I'm curious to see how that works.
Exactly. I need to know how that works.
Yeah.
Because that is very confusing for me. Like, there's no way that you get the legendary and you can use it in battle. There's no shot. No way.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Like, I guess you're gonna have to like get through one of, if not all, honestly, of the different storylines or whatever to be able to use it in battle. But I don't know.
Yeah, and then like, what's the build up? Because normally, you get to the legendary Pokemon, but if you have it at the very beginning, what are we chasing after?
Yeah, I mean, there's the evil team, the Team Star storyline.
Yeah,
and then there's the treasure hunt, and I think that the treasure hunt is probably the one that's like attached to the legendary in some way. I would assume.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe all of them are in some way, and maybe that's like an upgrade type of thing. Because like what I thought, like once we saw Psych Lizard, I thought it was going to be like, okay, they bait and switched us. We start out with Psych Lizard, and somehow it turns into a box legendary. But after seeing more gameplay, it does not look like that is the case. It looks like you just get the legendary somehow. But it
Can
can't.
you imagine? I was
It
just thinking, can you
can't.
imagine the responsibility that you have as a 14-year-old to take care of this
A
legendary
god.
Pokemon?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
You're being
crazy.
sent out for the first time, and they're like, "Here you go. Here's the biggest Pokemon out there."
Yeah, I don't know what their
Yeah,
plan is with that. I'm interested to find out. I hope you
yeah,
can't use it in battle because that would be cringe. I mean, me personally, I'm more hoping that you can't do it because I know the discourse that's going to happen. Like with every Pokemon game that comes out, Game Freak gives us more and more rope to hang ourselves. And people intentionally hang themselves so they can complain about it. Things like the wild area, where it's like they make leveling Pokemon too easy. These games are. It's like, no, you're making the game too easy. They're trying to make the game convenient for people that don't want to grind for hours and hours.
yeah,
And
yeah,
you're taking that as a way to grind for hours and
yeah,
hours and be over
yeah,
leveled. Whereas, like, I think that the real thing that they're aiming for is like, if anything, like if you are the type of person that wants to grind for a really, really long time, grind multiple teams, like be able to like play the game like Ashwood, where it's like, yo, Professor Oak, I need my Tauros for this gym. Like I'm switching up my team this time. Rather than like I have my one team of 6 Pokemon and I'm going to train with them throughout the entirety of the video game and I'm going to be on the perfect level to fight the gym.
yeah. What are you less hype about?
I'm less hype about. Um, what is something? I don't know. I don't know if there's anything specific. What about you? Maybe that'll trigger something.
For me, like, and again, you were just bringing up that, they, especially with the raids in Sword and Shield, they were making it easier for people to get Pokemon. It becomes an accessibility thing, right? Like they want people to enjoy the game.
Right.
And so for me, it was level scaling when it comes to the gyms.
Right. Yeah.
I still don't really understand how that works. And because there's not going to be.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like, how do you do that? Like, how do they do that in a way that makes the game what they're saying the game's going to be, as far as like a realistic solution? Because like my solution would be that like the difficulty is in how smart the trainers are, less than like what their level is. So you still have the like Breath of the Wild thing of like, go to the last gym leader and you could still beat them, because like the gym leader would be smarter than the first gym leader would be.
Right.
But the only way that they could do that now, where it's like, oh, you can beat the end of the game, right off the bat, you can beat the hardest gym leader first if you want, is to make them like relative to their levels. Like the 8th gym leader is level 80 or whatever, right?
Right.
Or like it seems like people are like guessing at now, where it's like, do gym battles just not have levels? Which I think, like, how would that work? Like,
Yeah. I didn't think about that, but it worries me because like how open world is it then? Because like with Breath of the Wild, you can go to any divine beast that you want,
right?
But there's one divine beast that is harder than the rest,
right?
But if there's not any level scaling, then you do have to go to basically who would be the first gym leader, and it seems more linear in that way.
Because Breath of the Wild isn't math, whereas Pokemon is. It's like, this gym leader has a bigger number than you, so they are objectively better than you are. Whereas in Breath of the Wild, it's like, well, I can be smarter than this boss, and I can like space differently or use its weakness that it doesn't know that I know, and like, that sort of stuff.
So maybe that is the direction that they're going, is that they don't have levels, and you go to that gym, you get bodied, and you're like, oh, okay, well, I guess I can't go to this one first.
That would surprise me, honestly. If they didn't do levels and it was like they made the AI progressively smarter, that would be ideal. Like that's the thing that like that's pie in the sky. I highly doubt it. But if they did that, I would be hype. I'd be down.
Yeah. No, I guess just real quick, the other thing that I'm really hyped about is I love the conversation that happened with Breath of the Wild and Arceus about people going off and doing different things at different times. And then we come back and we're like, oh, I did this first. You did that. That's really cool.
Yep.
I didn't even know you could do that. So
Right.
just the sense of discovery, I think, is going to be really hype.
I think that's the ideal like destination for Pokemon. Like there's just a lot of like discourse about like the direction of Pokemon and how many games they should make and what games should do what. For me, I think things like Arceus and Pokemon Let's Go and Pokemon Snap and all the things that they learned from all of that should funnel into the main product, because at the end of the day, Pokemon should be an all-encompassing thing, like all-encompassing choose your own adventure sort of situation, like rather than it being a game where it's like the story of this game is you beat this big evil team and you kill God. it's like a slice of life. Oh, I caught this Pokemon and we beat this trainer and we did this that day. Oh, well, I camped and I ran into Professor Oak and he wanted me to do X, Y, it's all the different like aspects of the world, and you can pick to engage with what interests you the most.
It's cool. There's people that like the spin-off games and there's people that like the mainline games, and I think they're kind of giving you both of best worlds with the Scarlet and Violet.
Right. Again, it's just another version of like the anime being realized in the video game.
That's cool.
So that's another thing that I'm looking forward to. I think like as far as like not looking forward to circle back to that, it's still hard for me to say, honestly. Any Arceus like quality of life improvement that won't be in the game is something I'm not looking forward to, because I know
that won't be in the game.
Yeah, like anything, because like things like if we can't, which we don't have any solid confirmation of any of this, but if you can't like see a Pokemon and just throw a Pokeball at it, that would be an L. Stuff like that. If they take that sort of stuff out of the game, I will be sad about that.
I think a lot of people would be, because that's what made Arceus so fun.
It's true. I think it's the only thing that made Arceus fun, because I think on the face value, like the gameplay of Arceus, like the what you do is not substantial enough to prop up a whole game. But what was the gameplay. So like people like wanted to engage with Arceus. I think that like Arceus's gameplay in a game that is more fully realized and featured, and it has a lot of different things to do. Like the main course of Pokemon Legends Arceus is a side thing, and the other Pokemon games, doing the Pokedex. Like if they make the gameplay like that fun, and then they make what you're doing or your goal that end for that means that vast, then that would be the happy medium. But I don't necessarily know if they know that yet, because they developed this game and Arceus at the same time, so they don't really know what's stuck, so it might be a Gen 10 thing, or maybe it's whatever the third iteration or DLC or anything like that, where they start to incorporate more Arceus centric things. But hopefully I'm wrong.
Well, it doesn't matter, because we know it's going to sell anyway. So
it's going to sell millions and millions of copies. But I mean, Zelda didn't stop selling, and they still made Breath of the Wild. So I think that Pokemon Company does want Pokemon to grow. They just have to do it in a way that won't make their golden goose die.
Yeah. Yep. Right on. Well, Cheesy Screams sounds like a wuss.
Who's that?
I don't know. Says, if you were in a Splatfest, what would your color be and what would it represent? Oh, that's kind of a smart question, though, actually.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah.
He should should put him on the show instead of you.
True. Yeah, I feel like I've done terrible. So,
well, I think as far as like the easy answer, that if Parker was here, we do the pair debate. Did we break down this for you, the pair debate?
No.
We used to tell all the guests about it. So the pair debate is at some point in time, Parker told a story about how he said that like in theory he likes pears because he likes pears when they're like good, like ideal, like they're not mealy or like bruised or anything like that.
Okay.
But a lot of times they are mealy or like not ideal. So he says in theory he likes pears. But my outlook is he likes pears because he likes them when they're good, you know? Like in my head, it would be like somebody asking me if I like pizza, and I would, every time somebody asks me if I like pizza, I'm like, yeah, I like pizza, but it can't be like Little Caesars or, you know, like, I like pizza when it's good. That would be the Splatfest of like, I don't know how to word it specifically, but like, I don't know, in theory or good, you know, like that sort of thing. Like that would be a Splatfest, and then the colors would be, I don't know, black and white or something, like red and blue. Like,
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, you confused me when you said that he likes pears when they're good, because like I think people like stuff when it's good.
Exactly.
Like that's where that stops.
But that's what I mean. Like that's why to me, if somebody asks me if I'm Parker in this scenario, if I liked pears, I would just tell them yes. I would be like, yes, I like pears. But
because it gets complicated because you're like, I do like pears, but, and it's like, no, there's no but, and like, how do you dig yourself out of that hole? It's like, no, you already answered it in the beginning.
And of course, he's going to have to like break this down to you in the way that he thinks, because obviously my perspective is painting how I'm explaining it. I don't mean to do that, but that's just how I view the situation.
I mean, I could view it if it was like, you know, you like ketchup, but you don't like tomatoes. Like, there's some people that like orange juice, but they don't like, or they like orange juice, but they don't like oranges. Like,
it's
that's
like, I'm not going to
different.
volunteer information that isn't integral to the question that you're asking me. Like, you didn't ask me about if I like mealy pear. Like, I would assume, and this is just me, if somebody's like, yo, you want a pear? They wouldn't give me one that is mealy. Like, because who that likes pears likes mealy pears.
Right.
Like, so that's what that's what the Splatfest would be. I don't know how to market it, but that would be the theme of it.
Okay. God, that's so funny. Eventually Parker will find that person that's like, but do you like mealy pears? And he's like, goes on this whole rant. Oh man, that's great. Well, did you have like a third choice if it was for
I forgot about
Splatoon 3?
I don't know.
Yeah. I kind of did the same thing. I only thought about like two choices, and I was like, oh shoot, now there's three of them. Because mine would be The Office versus Parks and Rec. I'm a big fan of both of those shows. And my like opinion on it is I love The Office. That is like my all-time favorite show. I just think the humor, the character development, the heart is all there. But I do think that Parks and Rec is the better show overall. Like it stays more consistent. Things don't fall apart. Like the storyline just keeps growing, and then it has a really good payoff. But The Office, Parks and Rec, and maybe like a blue ink for The Office and like a green ink for Parks and Rec. It's very specific, but like, you know, we got SpongeBob Splatfest and Ninja Turtles, so I think it's okay.
I think if I were to like pick another one that was three, it would be like the fighting game triangle, you know, like grab, attack, or shield. I'll probably do that. And I would pick attack because I'm just, well, it depends on the fighting game. And Smash Brothers, I'm picking shield because shield is cracked in ultimate.
I was gonna choose shield because I'm more of a defense player anyway. Like anytime it comes to like sports or a game, like I usually choose the defense.
So I am more defensive in ultimate because it leads to offensive situations. Like I'm aggressively defensive. I run into your face with my shield and I'm like, hit it, hit my shield. And then I immediately punish people for it. So that's why it's like, I'm conflicted on that. But
you're like the Joker in the Dark Knight. Hit me. Come on, hit me.
Exactly. So probably like my soul says attack, but my actions in Smash Brothers Ultimate technically say defend or shield.
Gotcha. All right. We got. Oh man, I am so bad at reading names. Sadokin 133. Do you know who this is?
Let me see. I need to open it. I didn't have that's
Satoken.
No, I don't think I know that name.
Okay. Well, they asked which fruit is best. Sorry, I butchered the name, but what fruit is best? And then they have a pineapple emoji.
I think it depends on the day. Either grapes or oranges. Ironically enough.
Is there a reason for that?
I just like grapes and oranges.
Fair enough.
Like if I'm gonna like,
do you like bad oranges and bad grapes?
I don't know. I don't think I've had a bad grape or orange.
Okay, fair enough.
Or like, I guess like what, like mushy grapes, like, like
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Yeah, do you? Well, no, I was even gonna ask like, do you like raisins? But that's completely different.
Yeah, that's
than
a
grape.
different thing.
So
if somebody asked me if I like grapes and I told them yes, and they're like, oh, okay, perfect, then you'll like raisins, I'm going to fight them.
Yeah. No, I like grapes. I'm not a big fan of oranges. I like the way that they smell, but for some reason, like I don't like the way they taste. Yeah. I would choose banana. I'm a big banana eater.
I hate them.
I had a feeling. I don't know why. I just had a feeling that was going to be the outcome of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the thing is, like with fruits, juice, drinks, stuff like that. I need some level of it to be sour. Like if it's too sweet, I don't want it. So
Okay.
like, that's how it's like with bananas. They're too sweet, and I don't like the texture of bananas either.
I mean, that is like a big, like common thing that people have with bananas is they don't like the texture.
That's most foods that I don't like, other than the sweet versus sour fruit thing. But like, it's usually a texture thing.
Let me ask you, like avocados. Where do you land
I
on
don't
that?
like them. Texture is terrible.
I don't like them either. So we agree on that one. But it is weird because like it's kind of the same texture as like almost kind of like a banana.
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has that like weird, like mushy, but kind of solid, but kind of not. Like,
Yeah. I really, I don't know. Like from an early age, I really liked bananas, and then for some reason for Valentine's, my papa, he would get me Cinnamon Toast Crunch and bananas, and it was like just a weird combo, but like
there.
he knew how much I liked both of those, so he would get those for me. And then recently I just learned that, I've been opening up a banana wrong. So there's
you don't
also
do the thing that like monkeys do when they break from
now
the bottom?
I do. Now I do. And it makes sense.
It does
make
make
sense. There's a novelty to it now,
Fair enough.
So yeah, I would choose banana. And like banana bread. It's
banana
great.
bread. I do like banana bread. I'll say that.
Okay.
I don't
just because it's in bread form.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, if I don't want sour bread. I mean, sourdough, I guess, is fine. But for the most part, I don't want bread that is like the same as like what I would seek out in fruit. But like the flavor profile of banana suits bread. But like every other banana like thing, like regular bananas, banana flavored like candies. Like that. No. I don't want it.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I feel that way with grape and like candy stuff.
A lot of grape flavored stuff I don't like either because it gives me like medicinal vibes. Like
it tastes like medicine. Yeah. And it like brings you back to that childhood of like, I can't believe I had to like taste this stuff.
It's the same thing for cherry too. Cherry's the same way.
Yeah.
But I like grapes. I just don't really like grape flavored things. Bananas, I don't like any of it. And it's the closest thing for bananas, but in a positive way, just an inverted way. It's like watermelon. I don't like watermelon, but I like watermelon flavored stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I get you on that. Parker asks, if forced at gunpoint to choose a sport to avidly follow, which would it be? And of course, why? If you already follow a sport, you've got to choose a different one. What's your answer?
So right now, my friends are trying to get me into basketball. So I guess I would just choose that because I already got friends that are like avidly into basketball.
Okay. That was also going to be my answer.
Nice.
I used to be like huge into sports when I was younger, like so much I wanted to be an anchor on like Sports Center.
Oh.
And I guess it again kind of came down to loyalty. Like players are just bouncing around all over the place, and it's, you know, obviously for money that it's hard to keep up like where they went and who's like,
that's the disconnect
who's
for me
gonna
for
be the
sports though, because it's like people are just like, I like that one, and that's the one I like, even if they're good or bad. And like for me, it's like I don't know how to like have loyalty for that, because it's like blind loyalty. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like that's the one I like, and that's the one I'm always gonna like, even if they're terrible, and I'm gonna talk like they're the best one ever, even when they're terrible.
yeah.
That's
but also
it's always
like
weird for me.
choose the home team, even if they suck, if they're
I
bad
know a lot
or
of people
whatever.
that don't do that. Like
I
I just had
know.
a conversation with my friend about this, where he's a Cowboys fan, and I'm like, "Yo, where did like what? Where did that come from? Like how did you become a Cowboys fan?"
Yeah.
But it's like his dad's Cowboys fan and something like that.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm a Broncos fan, and so like everybody was excited about Russell Wilson, and like he's okay, but like we are drowning in sadness over here. But I'm not gonna go root on another team because it's like even when your home team sucks, like that's the one you should support. That's my opinion on it anyway. Yeah, no, I would choose basketball. I've always really liked it. I wouldn't say that I follow it today as well as I used to, but I like how fast paced it is.
I feel it.
Yeah. And then Big
Big
Buddha
Yep.
as favorite mustard.
I don't like regular mustard. I like honey mustard. Honey mustard. Does that count?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a mustard, right?
Honey mustard.
Because like when I read this, I was like, I don't like mustard, so I don't even
you
know
don't
if
like
there's other
mustard either?
mustards out there. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like regular mustard, but I'm down with honey mustard.
Yeah, no, I can get behind honey mustard. And I don't know, there's something that's like I would rather have ketchup than mustard. But like I think it's like there's one that's more watery, I guess, and that sounds gross. But the other one is like more thick. And it's like a weird, I don't know, it just has a weird taste to me.
It's true. I don't like mustard, but
Yeah.
I hope you liked this show. If you did, friggin' like, comment, subscribe. You should follow Cheesy. All his stuff is linked in the description. You should click the stuff on the screen. Follow us on Twitter and whatnot. All the information it's available to you. Just click and scroll and whatnot. Thanks for watching. Oh yeah, follow the podcast. Do all the podcast things. Goodbye.